So we are only 1 week away from NASCAR going Roval track racing, and to celebrate it, we are going to be doing a few videos in NASCAR Heat 3. The first of those is a race in the Xfinity Series on the Charlotte Roval. This will be very interesting because, of course, in NASCAR Heat 2, there was no option to run the Xfinity cars on the then new Charlotte Roval for the NASCAR Heat Series. So for NASCAR Heat 3, this will be a very exciting opportunity to drive the Xfinity cars on this track. Let's get to it. So it's time to go at the NC Drive for the Cure 300. Ross Chastain failed the optical scanning station multiple times. He's starting at the back of the field. Poor Ross Chastain. He wouldn't have failed that if he was in a Ganassi car. But here we go through the final chicane, rolling off 23rd now. I qualified actually 24th on the grid, already making a little bit of contact. Wonder how much of that we'll see coming out of the final chicane on restarts and starts and whatnot. Whoa, look at this, the 66 car of Carl Long making life fairly difficult there on the inside. I should have probably been in third gear there because I wouldn't have spun the tires nearly as much, getting run out over by the car that Andy Lally probably would be in, considering this is a road course race, but it's Josh Williams here. And here comes Spencer Gallagher in the 23 car. Oh my, the Harminator. The Harminator dives up the inside. He'll take that spot for now. So I'm falling right square to the back right now. I need to try to get refocused here as I got up into the wall just a little bit and working out into the banking. Look at that. The car just pushes right up to the walls. We're going to make a little bit of contact with Vinny Milla. Now you may notice my car is a GoDaddy sponsored car. I was originally trying to recreate Dale Jr.'s Hellman scheme, but then realized there aren't a lot of sponsors that work with that scheme. Holy smokes, through the chicane the first time. Wow. Okie dokie. Well, anyway, that was interesting. By the way, Josh Bilicki's car looks a lot... Whoa, his Truex is just going to send it in there. Josh Bilicki's car looks like a car that you would see in the 90s. I'm surprised a paint scheme like that exists these days. It almost looks like one of the false cars you'd see in Dirty Daytona. But it's apparently a real-life car, which is kind of interesting. But yeah, I found out the GoDaddy scheme worked a little bit better, and it was still kind of fit in with the theme I was trying to go for with running a Junior Motorsports style car. So staying in third gear through that section was way, way better. Way better. Kept the wheel spin down, kept the car on track, not sliding around too much. Oh, there goes Vinny. I wrecked Vinny. Is that going to bring out the yellow? I suspect it will. Yes, it will. And we'll roll off 30th for the restart. So somehow I managed to lose 7 positions on the start. That's a problem. So let's see if we can drive a little bit better this time. I did notice the default setups slide around quite a bit. And I actually played with the some of the settings I know are kind of like good settings for custom setups, and I still found out the car was sliding around quite a bit. So I actually used a little bit of my own personal racing setup knowledge and raised the tire pressures, particularly at the rear of the car, to really fix some of the sliding problems I was having, and I'll be darned, it actually worked. So there we go. As we're going to make contact with Stephen Light there, get up on the grass there. Stephen Light kind of sounds like a beer name. I'm surprised there isn't. I'd be surprised. Stephen Light, take a little bit of advice from me. Start a craft beer company and call your product Stephen Light. I think you'll have some success. So we get shoved out into the wall, the tire wall there by Stephen Light, and fall back as we head back out onto the banking here, as we've got Reddick underneath me. Hopefully he won't block me and cause a 10-car pileup, but that's certainly a possibility as I get a draft off of him. Heading down into the backstretch chicane. Woo! Everybody all over the place. Oh, I tried to cut it in a little bit early there. I'm going to go underneath Reddick and make the pass on him. The Harminator still holding it down here. He is very aggressive on the Roval here. Oh man, look at this. Fincham just absolutely sending it.
To your right.
As was Tyler Reddick. I somehow just managed to make that corner. did make some contact with the wall. And then we got the custom car, not really a custom car. I'm driving a custom car. But the car that looks like a Dirt to Daytona custom car alongside of me.
You're right.
And
driver. Hold this line here.
Balicki. And he's diving up the outside of me. I'm going to try to stay with Balicki here. I think I may be able to get him.
Careful.
Yeah, right there. A little bit better traction through the corner, giving Reddick, who technically I suppose is my teammate. There's a big wreck right here. Into the wall goes, I believe that is Stephen Light. So not a good day for Mr. Light here. Should we come into the pits? I'm going to say yeah, I'm going to say no. I don't think we're actually even going to have to pit at all during this race, despite the fact that it's a 25% race, which is actually kind of surprising to me. Regardless, here we go.
Right side.
Back to racing, getting a little bit of contact there.
You're clear. Right
And
side.
there's 6 laps to go. I assume is that in the stage? No, that's in the race itself. So I guess this is a single race stage. I screwed up there, so no stage racing here in the Roval race, though we have had enough cautions to essentially create stages out of this race. I could have sworn I set this up to be a 25% race. Well, regardless, now I really have to come through the field quickly, because otherwise I'm in big trouble. Oh, as I send it up the inside of Truex and another car, that was Fincham, I think. Down into second gear, find that second gear, cut it in nice and early. There we go, I finally figured out that corner. Now we'll get in the draft of the Harminator. Try to find my original starting position of 23rd. Haven't quite found it just yet, though I suspect the chicane's going to be a bit of a shamble down here. Wow, I lifted off nice and early and still almost ran the Harminator over, we're wrecking.
Right side.
Somehow didn't wreck, but Fincham's going to get a good run on the outside of me, heading back out onto the banking. There's nowhere really for me to go. I can shove Harmon here, but I'm not close enough to shove Harmon either. Here we go. 3 abreast. Fincham gets the worst of it again. Reddick somehow managed to slide through it there. Now we'll really use Reddick up on the exit and pass him. Interesting. Okay. Stomping on the brakes behind the Harminator. Still going to try to get him here. Use all the track limits and then some to try to get some speed out of the corner. Couldn't quite do it. I'm going to be diving possibly underneath the Harminator here. Just a second. I'm going to go down a gear. Try to get the drive onto the banking. That is so crucial on this track, as it is on most Roval tracks, Daytona included. If you've ever driven there, like in Project Cars or iRacing, that final corner before the banking is always so important. Harmon's pulling away, though. I think he got a slightly better run. The one good thing, though, is that I'm going to have a nice, clean braking zone here into the chicane. I almost clipped the tires right there. Reddick spins in front of the field right there. He took a little too much out of it. We made contact and very nearly had a big wreck right there. So in 26th for the restart, and it's NASCAR overtime. So we haven't even found anywhere close to the front of the field yet, which is fascinating. So here we go. Green, green, green. The Harminator gets a little bit better of a jump on me there, but 2 laps here, going to take quite a bit of time. There's a big dive for me up the inside and take all the way up to 20th. Probably should have been in second gear, though, because Joey Gase got to the inside of me. Oh, that was a big, big braking move on
Right side.
Gase, making a little bit of contact with Gase again. For 20th. Oh, there goes the 60 car. Oh boy, we need to stay away from the 60 car. That car crashes every single week, as you guys are well aware at this point. Is we're going to go down a gear right behind Tift. Oh, understeer, so much push. And we're going to get passed by Yaley, but we're able to get in front of Mike Harmon. Somehow Harmon running real well here on the Roval. He's kind of having the Norm Benning moment, I suspect, like when the trucks first went to Eldora. So Harmon's playing the Norm Benning role in this particular instance, as Yaley and Jeremy Clements are going side by side. Clements has won on road courses before. That's a clean run, somewhat, for me through the chicane, but I was too clean through there. Oh, and that's not clean. That's cleaning some guys out. That's cleaning some more guys out. Woo! Here comes Williams by, Brown by, almost.
Left side. All clear. Right
Woo,
side.
look at that. That is just the Pied Piper move right there. Running into everybody to keep them behind me for 23rd spot. We haven't actually... We may start the race in 23rd and finish it in 23rd. We'll have to see as I get the inside wall there. On the brakes. Oh, almost overrotated the car just a little too much there. There goes Brown and Majeski down to the inside. Brown not going to give an inch. And I lose ground to Ryan Preece as well. Well, I lost 3 spots right there. Up through the gears on the backside of the course. Heading into the chicane for the final time. Ooh, they're on the brakes very early through there. Oh no! I'm in the wall. Carl Long's crashed and we got an overtime line still for some reason. When are they going to patch that out of the game? So here are the highlights from the Roval race as I take the green flag. I'm glad that's a highlight as I got into Stephen Light there. Ryan Preece and I made contact. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, wow, yeah. Well, that was a big hit for Ryan Preece in the middle of the pack, middle of the chicane. That I'll tell you what, that chicane is going to be absolute nonsense on race day, I suspect. Joey Gase and Stephen Light get into it, so we get a highlight that's not related. Well, there's the crash, so we get to find out what happened to Stephen Light, and that was that. Big old wreck right there. And we'll go on to the next replay as I made a pass for 29th. This is probably going to be one of the big braking moves into turn 1, and indeed it was on my teammate in the 9 car. Made a pass for 27th spot. A little bit of contact with Ryan Truex right there. Then there's the spin between me and the Carl Long car. I can't remember which one that was. And then I made contact with Tyler Reddick, my teammate. Glad that was a highlight as well. We go on to Reddick and Joe Nemechek making contact. Well, that was me making contact, and then Nemechek was kind of the innocent bystander in that one for Reddick. Then we go on to the pass on Mike Harmon on the restart. In fact, the pass of a lot of guys on the restart. And then we got side by side with Gase there, and that created a race-long duel for the end of the race as I made a pass for 19th and eventually fell to the back of the field. So NASCAR Heat 3 predicts that Justin Allgaier will win over Cole Custer and the Diabetes Man. Ryan Reed, yes, Ryan Reed. Ryan Reed! I couldn't remember his name for the life of me. I just could think of his sponsor and got mad. Christopher Bell will be 4th and Daniel Hemrick will be 5th. That's a lot of playoff contenders. That could happen. That's a very realistic possibility of a finishing order. I want somebody to screenshot that and look at that because that very well could be your top 10 when we get to the end of the Roval race. So thank you guys so much for watching this. Be sure to like, subscribe, stay tuned for more NASCAR Heat 3 and motorsport content, and we'll see you in the next video.